In this video, we're going to discuss KFC and their Beyond Chicken. So this year, KFC decided that they were going to give a plant-based option, and they came up with Beyond Fried Chicken, which is made by Beyond Meat. For those of you that don't know what Beyond Meat is, they are probably the most popular, I could think of, the most popular option when it comes to beef. They make their meat to look very similar to real beef, and I believe it even bleeds like real beef. So for those of you that are into that, then that might be a good option for you. I personally don't eat it. A lot of companies have been partnered to make plant-based / vegan options, and so KFC went ahead and partnered with them as well and came up with Beyond Fried Chicken. So there is now available Beyond Fried Nuggets. There's a lot of debate going on about whether or not this is something that the vegan community should be happy about. While a lot of people are saying this is great, we're getting more options and companies are finally taking us seriously, a lot of other vegans are saying, well, no, they're not really following the right way of preparing food, and is this really supporting us when they're doing things like cooking the Beyond Fried Chicken nuggets in the same oil as they cook chicken. Whatever spectrum of the side you're on, I think it's interesting to have those conversations and kind of see where we all fall on that spectrum. Is it something that I would personally eat? No. I try very hard to stay away from anything that has to do with animals. I'm completely vegan. I've been completely vegan for about 4 years now. I take a risk every day, or not a risk, but I eat certain products that, yeah, they're on shared equipment. Unfortunately, we live in a world where that's just something that happens. If you're buying products or things like that, you're most likely to some degree having to deal with it. It sucks, but it is what it is. I try to stay away from anything that may have animal products in it. So while they offer this plant-based option, they say that the only reason it's not considered vegan would be just because it is cooked in the same oil. I'm assuming that's the only thing. I looked at their ingredients, and the ingredients look like just typical wheat protein, soy protein. So it seems to be that would be the only thing. As far as their breading, I really couldn't find where the ingredients of the breading were. I'm assuming it's the same thing as just the nugget ingredient. So if you go to their website, you can actually find a FAQ, and it will go ahead and basically answer all the questions that everyone has regarding this new form of chicken, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and read you basically all of the FAQs, because I found some of them pretty interesting, the way that they answered it. I don't really feel like they answered the question. They just kind of give you a blanket answer. So the first thing it says is, what is Beyond Fried Chicken? And it says, it packs all the delicious flavors you expect from KFC into a plant-based option. Developed exclusively for KFC by our friends at Beyond Meat. First plant-based option offered at a national chicken chain in the US. What does plant-based mean? It is a protein made from plants instead of animals. That's what plant-based means. Where does the protein in Beyond Fried Chicken come from? It comes from soy and wheat proteins. Okay, pretty normal for a substitute of chicken. How is Beyond Fried Chicken prepared? It is fried by a cook in each participating KFC restaurant. The reason why I find this funny, and I don't know if anybody else thinks it's interesting that they say that, is it's obviously it's fried by someone. When you say how is something prepared, you want to know, like, start to finish. Made in a facility, and was it breaded? Like, give me a step by step. But just to say how is it, it's fried. Well, yeah, everything in fucking KFC is probably like fried or, thrown or cooked by a person. Like, it's such a, it's a flat answer. Doesn't really answer the question. But I don't know. Does it? It's just me. All right, moving on. Is Beyond Fried Chicken vegan or vegetarian? It is not vegetarian. And they bold it. N-O-T, not vegetarian, vegan, or certified vegan. It is 100% plant-based, but fried in the same fryers as our chicken, which may not be acceptable to certain types of vegetarian or vegan diets. So I like that they put that, because at least they understand that there is a divide and that some vegans find that acceptable and others don't. So it's actually very interesting to me that they know that to, just be like, listen, it ain't for everybody. Is Beyond Fried Chicken gluten-free? No. It contains wheat protein. Is Beyond Fried Chicken safe for individuals who have a nut allergy? Beyond Fried Chicken does not contain peanuts or tree nuts. What is Beyond Fried Chicken breaded in? Exclusive to KFC breading that is similar to KFC's popcorn nuggets. I don't know how that answers the question. What is it breaded in? Panko, stale, yesterday's bread? Like, give me what exclusive to KFC's breading? Which is it a secret? I don't know. I don't fuck with KFC. Is their breading like a secret recipe that they can't share? How long will this product be available? Beyond Fried Chicken will be available while supplies last. Okay, so does that mean are they keeping it on the menu? I'm assuming they're keeping it on the menu, but it just says while supplies last. So like, is there a certain amount that we're gonna run through? Very vague answer to me, at least. I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe while supplies last is like just means literally, well, if we have it, we'll serve it. I don't know, I'd like a more definite answer. Anyways, which KFC sauces are vegan/vegetarian? Vegan, none. So you made these plant-based nuggets that vegans are eating, but you didn't think to make like a vegan sauce for them. It's just crazy to me. Like, what are we supposed to do? Will you guys just eat them dry? Like, that's a dry nugget. That's pretty sad. Vegetarian. Honey barbecue dipping sauce, which vegans out, depending on how you feel about honey. Which KFC menus are vegan/vegetarian? This is a very good question. It says, many sides are considered vegetarian, or for those who follow a gluten-free diet, but all ingredients are handled by employees who prepare chicken, which may not be acceptable to certain types of vegetarian or gluten-free diets. Gluten-free sides are going to be their green beans, coleslaw, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, sweet corn. Their vegetarian sides are green beans, barbecue baked beans, corn on the cob, sweet corn. And now we get to the bread and butter. The ingredients of the Beyond Fried Chicken, which are, it's a lot, but I'll go ahead and read it anyways. Water, enriched wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, monoitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, soy protein isolate, expeller pressed canola oil, enriched bleach wheat flour, wheat gluten, natural flavor, yeast extract, and less than 2% of breadcrumbs. There's that breading. Wheat flour, distilled vinegar, sea salt, leavening, sodium bicarbonate, which aka baking soda, inactive yeast, spice extractives, chili pepper, citric acid, garlic powder, leavening again, sodium aluminum phosphate, monocalcium phosphate, modified wheat starch, onion powder, pea extract, rice flour, salt, spice, titanium dioxide for color. And that is what it is made of. I mean, it's a pretty big paragraph of ingredients. Usually, try to stay away from anything that's like 3 to 4 ingredients long, or 3 to 4. Try to stay away from anything that's like 3 to 4 lines long. But I mean, I've been kind of seeing like what my groups on Facebook are saying. A lot of people are saying it's good, which I don't really know how they're enjoying it without any sauces, but whatevs. A lot of people are saying it's good. Other people are like, no, I don't think so. Whatevs. I want to talk about, a lot of people are basically saying there's a huge debate over whether or not this is considered a good thing for us. With a lot of vegans, or a lot of people becoming vegans, it is a it's a big constant struggle, a day-to-day struggle with where they're going to eat, what companies or what food can they trust. Every time a vegan does go out and they order something, their order's always wrong or it contains meat. And there's really no safe place for a vegan to go unless it's a vegan restaurant. But when you go to a vegan restaurant, you then have to worry about paying almost $15 for a plate of food that it's not enough. And a lot of it, you end up looking at it and going, I could have made this at home. A lot of people are excited when companies do this, but at the same time, I think it's important to kind of say or mention that these companies are doing it just because they want your money. They're looking at the numbers. They're realizing that there is a very big profit to be made from vegans. So they sat there and said, what can we do to get these vegans money? And that smart person sitting in their desk finally was just like, oh, we're gonna make a Beyond Nugget. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do just, I don't know, give them whatever, just whatever. They went ahead and did it the lazy way by not even trying to do it the right way and stand by what most vegans stand by, which is no animals in their body, no harming of any animals or animals being exploited or anything like that for food. And these nuggets being cooked in the same oil as chicken grease, while that doesn't bother a lot of people, personally, when we tell them it's okay for them to do that to our food, we're now opening up the floodgates for other companies to do that to our food. And it tells them that we're okay with them with these low standards that they're now doing in order to just make to get our money. It's only a matter of time before other companies start jumping in. Popeyes might be the next that does it, just to kind of be competitive, because that's another thing. These companies are then competitive. So if they start seeing, KFC came out with a Beyond, and now we're losing money because the vegans are going to them because they have a vegan option. Okay, well, let's come up with a really quick vegan option. Hurry up. And then, they'll do their own digging and be like, oh, wow, they're not even having to go the extra mile and get, an extra fry or whatever. People are just eating it. They don't even care. Okay. It kind of kills what we stand for. I'm not saying one opinion over the other. I'm just kind of looking at the whole thing as a whole, like both sides. Kills what we're supposed to stand for if we're okay with eating things that they clearly have not put much thought into. These businesses are only out to get money at the end of the day. They don't care about what we eat. They don't care about our principles, our morals. They don't care about our long goal of trying to end animal suffering. All they care about is this. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Making that cheddar. And that's something to keep remembering. And while it's nice to have these great options, and it's nice to know that there is a safer option for us to eat, and we can finally join that group of friends when they go out. And because I know a lot of vegans, a lot of them will say in the groups they struggle with finding a place to eat when they feel left out and they're all sad. And I get it. I get the FOMO. I think if we're going to be as strong as we are and stand up these companies and try to get them to really change what they're doing, I think it's important that we stand by our principles and say, no, we will not accept this because it exploits animals. And it's still, you haven't made any extra effort. And yet we're rewarding them by giving them our money because they quickly came up with some bullshit product to give us just to get our money. There was no love, care, or consideration that was even thought into this. And so that, like I said, that's just, I want to look at this as a whole. And more companies are doing this. The Chipotle just came out with chorizo. So Chipotle's chorizo is apparently certified vegan, which usually means that while it's certified vegan, it can still be made in the same container as meat. It just means that they usually sanitize and they'll clean and then they'll put the vegan option in. I don't know if that's the case here. I personally don't go to Chipotle, so I don't know how the chorizo is prepared, but the general point of me saying this was that more and more companies are starting to add vegan options. Some of them are doing it with more of the vegan mentality in mind, and others are just taking the short way out, like KFC. We have Burger King with their plant-based Whopper, which a lot of people were saying were great. And when I looked up a little bit on their website about how it's prepared, they do say that they take the best care that they can, but of course there is a cross-contamination risk with anything, and that their oil filtration system is apparently connected, and so, it may or may not contain eggs or scraps of some form of animal on it. As far as whether or not it's on the same grill, I've seen a lot of people say it is, a lot of people it isn't. I personally don't know, but once again, this is just another company that is trying to come out with a plant-based option in order to appease the need. And I think a lot of the reasons why people are also happy about this is because it's a cheaper option. Could you go to a vegan restaurant? Yeah, you could, but you're going to spend about $15 to $16 versus if you go to Burger King, KFC, or Chipotle, you're probably paying half that price. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any of the costing because every place wants you to select a location to get the costing, and my thing was just not working out. But I'm pretty sure you would pay significantly less for a meal at a fast food restaurant versus going to an actual vegan restaurant and paying by plate. I know it's a struggle, and a lot of people, I used to think, well, what the hell? We're supposed to be your community. You're not supposed to be charging. Like, you're charging us ridiculous amounts. A lot of vegan restaurants probably do pay a pretty good penny to bring certain vegan brands into their restaurants. The vegan scene is very expensive. The vegan options that are available are extremely expensive. Companies are charging ridiculous amounts to keep restaurants afloat. Like, I have an option of what I want to buy, and sometimes would I like to buy Gardein patties in order to be able to serve my customers? Sure, but at $91 a case and I'm only getting half that in patties, that's a pretty big investment. And then I have to overcharge, or at least what I consider, I have to charge my patties very expensively just to get that money back. So it's a constant, it's a broken system right now where vegan companies probably want to do things the right way, but they're not really able to because they won't make a profit. Because there's a difference between just breaking even and trying to actually make a profit. And a lot of these companies have to do more than just break even in order to sustain themselves. So it's a constant struggle, and it's very sad that a lot of these companies cannot find a better way. Sometimes the best way would probably be to make things you would figure by homemade, but even making things homemade, that's a lot of labor. And right now in this economy, with the way that finding a job and all this other bullshit has been going, I'm sure that's just not an option for a lot of companies. I mean, personally at my job, I very short staffed, and while I'm a scratch kitchen, there's a lot of things I just can't make from scratch now because I don't have the labor. It's really hard. These companies can afford to do this, and they can afford to do it cheaply because they have the money to do it. But for the little guy who's trying to do things the right way, it's just not working out for them. So it's a very sad, vicious cycle that I hope can be broken and or fixed in some way. But I'm really interested to see what a lot of people think about this subject, because as more people start to transition to a vegan/plant-based diet, there will be more and more companies coming out with these, vegan or plant-based options, and I'm interested to see how they will handle it. Will they handle it like Chipotle, where they're giving us an item that they can say is certified vegan and we know it's safe for us to eat? Or will it be a easy, cheap way out like KFC? That's just throwing things in the same fucking oil and just telling us, all right, you have a nice day. So I'm really interested to see what a lot of people think about the subject. Let me know in the comments down below, like, what you feel about it. If you're a vegan and you've had it, what do you guys feel about it? Personally, it's not something that I am going to try because I don't eat out. I want to say I rarely eat out. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about the subject, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.